Hi, my name is Emily Parker, and this summer I worked for the Municipal Theater Association of St. Louis, or the Muny for short. The Municipal Theater opened in 1917. It was built in 49 days and is now the world's largest outdoor musical theater. It holds 11,000 people, and the pit was designed to hold up to 200 musicians. There are 1,100 free seats, and it is a nonprofit organization, and tickets range from free to $80. So first, I'm going to go over my history with the Muny, then what my orientation was and what my learning objectives were, my projects and accomplishments, what I learned, my future, and then I have a little works cited. So I've had a personal connection to the Muny for my entire life. As a young girl, my grandfather took me to every show, every summer, every opening night. My grandparents are very close to many of the staff members of the Muny. Because of this, I've always loved the Muny. Though I cannot sing, act, or dance, I always dreamed of working there. Once I discovered marketing, I decided my dream was to market for the Muny. And here I am. In December, I was hired by the Muny to work for Kofi Coleman, the house manager and digital communications manager, and I was given the title of Digital Communications and Promotions Intern. I was beyond excited. My orientation was very informal. I came into the office a few weeks before and met everyone, went over a few projects and goals my boss had, and discussed what specifically I would be working on. I met the other interns who were video and photo tech interns. The environment was extremely relaxed and welcoming and friendly, yet professional. First, my boss and I made our learning objectives. There were two that really stood out as goals that I needed to accomplish. I wanted to network and establish professional contacts in St. Louis in the business industry by attending meetings and reaching out to professionals, and I wanted to learn how to successfully market a theater by shadowing the manager of digital communications and completing the projects he assigns me. I absolutely completed both of these goals. I networked myself and met many different business professionals in St. Louis. When people knew I worked at the Muny, they immediately gave me their contact information and business cards. I also learned about every aspect of running a successful theater as I was able to watch every rehearsal and visit every office. These are a few of the projects that I'll be going over that I worked on this summer. So from day one, I delved into my projects head first. I became admin of the Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and email. The Muny Instagram account was my first baby. I grew the Instagram followers from 15 to 700 and started Throwback Thursday each Thursday, where I would post old pictures from shows past. This was very popular each week, and other businesses from St. Louis followed our lead after we started posting Throwback Thursday photos on Facebook. Everyone commented on the Instagram account, and I was extremely proud of revitalizing that aspect of the Muny social media. The Muny Instagram was definitely the most rewarding project I had all summer. Another project was to determine what time was the best time to post Facebook updates and send out emails. This would be determined by using Excel and doing a statistical analysis on each post and email. By looking at the number of views, shares, forwards, etc., we could figure out what time was ideal to post and update our social media. I never realized there was a sort of science to social media. I now know that people are most likely to check their emails at 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. and most likely to read their Facebook posts at 5 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m. I also learned that photos are the most popular thing to post. This was my most interesting project of the summer because I learned why and when people post and check their social media. So after this, I did some statistics for the sponsors of the shows. The Muny is a nonprofit organization, therefore they rely heavily on donations from large corporations to be able to put on their shows. It is extremely important to give the donors love and post their names as many times as possible on as many emails, photos, and videos as possible. In order to get more support from donors, we had to prove that we were showing them off. So I went through every YouTube video, email, and whatnot, and made a list of the number of videos and emails each donor was featured in. These charts would then be shown to the sponsors, and the sponsors would then decide whether or not they wanted to give more next season. My next project was the PNC Artist Corner, where PNC featured different people from the Muny, and I had to draw an audience. So I went around and made sure people were aware of what was happening in West Platform. My last project was the most time-consuming and frustrating. At the end of each season, the Muny hands out a survey sheet to each audience member where they fill out their name, age, address, phone number, season ticket holder, and then they select 7 shows from a list of 30-ish that they want to see next season. It is then our job in the office to enter all of this information into a spreadsheet and determine the popular votes season lineup for the next year. So my boss and I worked very hard to create a spreadsheet that accurately represented the population of the Muny's audience. We had different columns for each age group and weighed age group differently based on the numbers. We believe that we had to weigh each age group to fairly represent the population because there weren't nearly as many under 18-year-olds as there were 54 to 65-year-olds. After we spent a lot of time working on this, we realized that our work was not necessary because in collecting surveys from each audience member, we were already representing the population, so we didn't have to weigh the votes. But we did find out that our work would not go to waste because our spreadsheets represented the populations for future seasons. So I never really had many experiences that took me out of my comfort zone. I built such great relationships with my coworkers and was always comfortable explaining my work and discussing other projects. The only difficulty I faced was that I had little knowledge on digital communications coming into the job, but now I feel like I know more than any class could have taught me. The one thing that surprised me was how much my academic courses prepared me for my internship. I took a class last semester called Statistics for Decision Making and had a lot of difficulty in that class, but it ended up being the most useful for my internship and I now completely understand the class. BizCom was also extremely important in teaching me how to work professionally in the workforce. I got to experience so much more than I had imagined and got to meet some of the biggest names in theater. I was also able to watch rehearsal and see every aspect of putting on a show. The show business is very fast-paced and exciting, and I know it is something that I will always want to be a part of. There was hardly ever a boring day in the office, so now I know that I don't want a slow-paced job. I need something that keeps me on my feet and thinking as this one did. I'm definitely interested in pursuing a career in showbiz and was offered a position next summer at the Muny. I learned how to speak to professionals and how to post to an online audience of around 42,000 people. I've also learned that when I get back to Elon, I want to add some more business communications classes and maybe add it as a minor. There isn't really anything I would have done differently. I engrossed myself completely in every experience and learned more than I could have imagined. The experience was extremely rewarding because I got to read everyone's positive posts and feedback. My boss taught me so much, and I really felt like I was doing meaningful work. So I feel very prepared to take what I've learned to abroad in a week to London and apply that to my internship in London and next summer. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.